Hey, it's Locked In by Mare, coming to you with another Locked In tutorial. Today, I will be showing you how to dreadlock straight hair. Just because you have straight hair doesn't mean that you can't get dreadlocks. There's one method that I like to use, and it's called the backcombing method. Now, this method is used to achieve the lock. If you want a more natural lock, you can do it the natural process. The hair will naturally lock in about 6 months to a year, depending on the texture and the curl pattern of the hair. The tools I'll be using today to achieve this look, of course, you'll have a real person. Today, I have Katie, my straight hair mannequin. I will be using a rat tail comb. I have a pin or some clamps, a rubber handband for sectioning the hair. We have crochet needles. They are 0.75 millimeter. I have 3. Here's the one with the 3 hooks, 2 hooks, and 1 hook. We'll also need a rubber band to section off the lock that you want to achieve. The first step that we'll be doing is we're going to make a section of the hair. So we're going to separate the locks into sections. As you can see here, I have several locks already formed. Now the size, you will have to, talk with your client. And the best thing to do is to figure out what they want to achieve with their locks. What is their end goal? How do they want their locks to look? All right, each section will form a lock. So you'll start separating the sections of the hair on the back of the head first. I started in the front just for tutorial purposes. But you'll want to start in the back of the hair. If you want fatter locks, you can separate a thicker section of the hair. Backcombing works best on hair that's 6 inches or longer, but can work with hair as short as 3 inches. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a section here. All right, just going to take the hair. All right, and we'll use our band here to section the hair off that we don't want inside the lock. Okay. As you see here, we have a small section. The smaller the section, the smaller the lock will be. And it's very important that you consult with your client so that they understand how the lock will form. Because this is important, for later down the road when they're doing maintenance, etc. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, I like to place a rubber band on the hair at the root. It helps my back combing, and it helps you section off, so that you can see how many locks that you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to start back combing, and back combing is very simple. All you have to do is pull the hair and back comb. I like to start here at the root, right there, and we just back comb. As you can see, we are knotting the hair. This hair does not have a curl pattern, so we have to manipulate the hair so that it will have some type of knotting. All right, so we're just going to back comb, back comb, back comb, back comb, back comb, back comb. And while I'm doing this, I'm just simply gripping the hair between my index finger and my thumb here. I started a couple inches away from the root. This is why I have the rubber band, because you want to give that hair, the new growth hair, to time to come in, you know. So we'll keep back combing, back comb, back comb. All right. And it's just me and my 2-year-old here. We're in quarantine, and it's raining outside. All right, so as you can see here, we've kind of formed a big old knot. You okay? You need some water? A big knot here. All right, so what we'll do, I normally like to go with the 3-hook needle because it allows me to wrap the hair. As you can see, you see all those hairs that are sticking out? We are going to twine those hair around in a circle. All right, so basically what you want to do is to take that needle, I go under and I pull the hairs over. I grab them under, over, just like so. Okay, and all you're doing, you're just grabbing those hairs together, and as you can see, it is slowly forming a lock. Then I'll take my needle here that just has 1 hook on it. And the reason I use the different hooks is because I like to pull a lot of hairs at once. But to get a more defined look, I tend to go with the 1 needle hook here. All right, and here's where I get down to the nitty-gritty. All right, so you always want to make sure that that hook is facing, see if you can see that. Sorry if you can't see it, but that hook is facing down, and that way it can catch the hair. So we'll take that hook and we'll just go over, and we're just going to latch it, latch it, latch it, latch it, latch it, latch it. Latch, 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 latch. All right, and then as you can see, we are slowly forming a lock. You see that? All right, so I'm just going to be quiet as I work. I'm just gonna just, you know, sew that hair just like a sewing machine. It goes in and out. I'm grabbing hairs, I'm pulling them inside the lock. I'm knotting them up inside the lock. As you can see, I will use a motion just like so. I'm going to pull the hairs in and just knot them out. Just like that. And this right here, I'm just pulling the locks from the lower lock, from the lower hairs up into the lock, so that it will form a, it won't be so hollow inside. You want to make sure you pull those hairs in there. Okay. All right, we're just going to work our way down. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfectly neat to begin with. The lock is forming. Let's continue. Let's keep going here. We're just going to thicken that lock up some, so that when you touch it, it doesn't feel all hollow inside. You know, there's some hairs, you know, locking up in there. And we're doing that by just running that needle up and down, just pulling those hairs from the bottom of the lock up into the top of the lock, closer to the root. Okay. All right. You will need to back comb whenever you see that your hairs are getting a little bit straighter. You want to make sure that you knot it up. That you knot it up. Okay. The process is very easy. You just have to get the method down. You know, you just go over and we pull those hairs around and pull those hairs from the bottom. I'm going to latch the hair here. See that hair? I'm just going to latch it, pull it under the bottom of the lock, and I'm going to bring it over and catch more, just like that. Okay. Alright, we're going to keep going here. I'm just going to keep working. We're going to make that lock. Alright. Now, the end of the process, we're going to do a palm roll. We're going to palm roll so that we, you know, make that good lock shape. Even all the way down. And the palm rolling, you know, get rid of the excess hairs on the outside. So what we'll do is we'll just take our hand, smush them together like a sandwich, and we palm roll. Take your hand, smush them together like a sandwich, and we palm roll. We palm roll. We palm roll. Okay? Just like so. Alright, and then we take those little hairs that we didn't get from the palm roll, and we just thread them in. Just like so. Okay? Alright, there we go. And we just palm roll that lock, and as you see, there you are. We have just converted straight hair into a lock. Thank you for tuning in to Locked In by Mare with this special tutorial on how to make straight hair into locks. Thanks. See you next time.